Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the digital nervous systems of the world's biggest companies. We're going to find out how they stop massive, costly errors before they happen and, stay on the right side of the law. We're talking about their SAP systems and the digital safety net they build to keep everything in check.
So, let's just start with a huge question. Think about it. These global companies, they practically live inside SAP. It's running everything: payroll, manufacturing, sales, the whole shebang. The scale is just mind-boggling. So how on earth do you put guardrails on something so enormous, so absolutely critical?
And that right there is the fundamental problem. The very thing that makes a company a powerhouse also opens it up to incredible risk. After all those big financial scandals, laws like the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, or SOX, came down hard. Companies now have to prove their financial data is rock solid. One wrong move inside SAP, the fallout can be just devastating.
Right, so this is way more than just an IT headache. We're talking about a core business survival issue. Let's dig into how companies are actually tackling this.
The answer is something called an internal control system, or ICS. Now, the easiest way to think about it is like the company's official rulebook, but a rulebook that's alive and working. It's all the procedures, the policies, the checks and balances that management puts in place to make sure the business is running like it's supposed to and, most importantly, staying out of trouble.
But here's the thing. That rulebook, that safety net, it looks completely different now than it did just a few years ago. It's had a total digital makeover.
You see, in the old days, this was all about manual effort. Picture auditors walking around with clipboards and Excel spreadsheets, maybe checking in once a quarter. It was slow, and you were always playing catch-up, fixing problems after they happened. Today, that just won't cut it. The new way is all about automation. We're talking about smart systems that are watching transactions in real time, 24/7, to proactively stop issues in their tracks.
But look, you can't run this new high-tech world with old-school manual tools. It just doesn't work. To build and operate this digital safety net properly, you absolutely need a centralized command center.
So, what does this command center actually look like? Let's take a peek inside the exact tool that makes all of this possible.
And here it is. This is SAP Process Control. It's a key part of what SAP calls its Governance, Risk, and Compliance, or GRC suite. This screen right here, this is where a company's entire internal control system lives. It gets documented, managed, and monitored from here. This is what turns the vague idea of a control system into a real working piece of technology.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting, and this is the absolute core of what we're talking about today. Just having 100 controls in your system means nothing. It's not enough. You have to ask a much deeper, much more important question. Are these controls even designed to do the job in the first place?
This is it. This is the one step that separates a real, effective safety net from just, a bunch of rules that look good on paper but don't actually do anything. And the process for figuring this out is called a control design assessment. So get this. It's not about checking if an employee followed a rule. It's about checking if the rule itself is actually a good rule. Is it smart? Is it effective? Is it truly capable of stopping the problem it was created to solve? You're basically judging the plan before anyone even starts working. The best analogy is building a bank vault, right? Step 1, you identify the risk. Someone might try to steal the money. Step 2, you blueprint the control. A 2-foot thick steel door with 3 different locks. Now the design assessment is step 3. It's when an expert looks at that blueprint and says, yep, this design will actually stop a thief. You do all of this before you pour a single drop of concrete. So what does this actually look like inside SAP Process Control? Well, every single control is documented as its own formal object. You can see an example here, hedge valuation review. Now, that's just a fancy financial control, but the key thing is the structure. Every control gets a name, a description, a risk level. It becomes a neat, tidy piece of the overall compliance puzzle. And this is just brilliant. These control objects don't just exist in a vacuum. The system lets you explicitly link them to the specific business processes they're meant to be protecting. So here, you can see a bunch of controls being assigned to a process like IT change management. This creates this perfectly clear, traceable line from the risk to the process all the way to the control that's designed to keep it safe.
So why? Why go through all this trouble of designing, documenting, and assessing every little thing? What does this whole process actually deliver at the end of the day?
It delivers one thing, assurance. And it's not just a warm, fuzzy feeling. It's a set of real, tangible things. You get documented results that prove your controls are designed well. If there are any weaknesses, they're formally logged as issues. No sweeping them under the rug. Then, action plans are created to fix those flaws. And the final piece, leadership formally signs off, putting their name on the line to say, yes, our system is sound.
And that, right there, is the ultimate payoff. That documented paper trail is exactly what external auditors and government regulators like the SEC are looking for. It's how a CEO can sign those financial statements with confidence, knowing there's a robust, well-designed, and tested system behind them. It's how you prove your digital safety net is the real deal.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. In a world of instant transactions, AI, and ever-increasing complexity, just relying on old manual checks and hoping for the best isn't just outdated, it's a massive, massive liability. The real question for every company out there is no longer if they need an automated, well-designed control system, it's whether they can possibly survive without